The end of a relationship is messy, embarrassing, or sometimes even too difficult to understand.
She chose me despite differences in her social status, despite her parents' obsession for racial compatibility.
Nerve! But I thought about giving him a chance and not
Back to memory. Her red lips matches her red plastic framed glasses.
of not hearing a word from him. I moved on. He's done. And I just realized I don't remember anything he said. Oh. There. He was nice where it counted.
Fighting for a lasting relationship. The privilege to watch the person you love most go 6 feet under? Or giving the person you love most front row seats to your own exit?
Actually, I'm quite eclectic with my choices. For one thing, I like meta theater. I really like exploring the craft. So I actually even wrote at a particular point I wrote a set of plays, really just reflecting on the different areas of theater. They're called the heavy meta series. I don't think they'll be stageable while the quarantine is here, but they're a fun read. I think it's something that can be accessed there. I'm also quite fond of love stories. Actually, I think the biggest body of work that I have with regard to plays would have something to do with love. And by love, I'm not really limiting it to romantic love, but I'm really going for what C.S. Lewis would call the four loves: affection, charity, friendship. I don't know. It's part of. I think there's a part of me that kind of has this instinct to rebel against the popular notion of how we understand love, and I think it's nice to actually, to see love at angles we usually take for granted. So I started writing the monologues. Oh, very good question. Why excess of all people? Well, this has to do with a friend of mine. I was friends with a student who unfortunately died very early, and it was really a shock to me as his teacher and all of his other friends. And one of the grim realizations I've had was that for every friend you make is a funeral you're gonna attend, unless they attend your funeral first. So it was such a grim thought when I was attending my friend's funeral. But at the same time, of course, as I was going through along with life and dealing with that grief of that death of my friend, I was also, of course, seeing a lot of drama going on around me, people breaking up and so on and so forth. And one of the realizations I had, combining those two things together, is that people get into relationships sometimes not realizing what the end game is. In fact, when you really think about it, there are only two ways for how a relationship would end. Either they part ways, or they watch each other die. It's super grim. But at the same time, I think it's a whole thing about yung finding out which person do I find it worth it to see die, or I will allow this person to see me die. And I think there's a kind of grotesque beauty maybe for some people, but I think there's something beautiful about it. But deep down, that's what we're all looking for. Told joining contests is an excuse to be able to write. Na actually yung something that people say, wow, you've won 8 palangkas na. Yeah, no, I mean, yes, definitely that's something worth celebrating. But at the same time, now what I remind people also is that I've been joining for how many years in Palangka, and I think I've been joining since 2004, no, all the way to 2019, because last year there was no Palangka Awards. So I've been joining from 2004 to 2019. That's practically 15 years, or even more in joining. And I submit at least somewhere between 3 to 5 entries every year. And if you think about it, winning 8 awards, I mean, my batting average is pretty low. It's just that I have more audacity to really just join, and that's part of the secret. Now, what keeps me writing? One of the things that my uncle told me. Now, he's also a writer. He told me to join the Palangka not to win. Join whatever contests you can join, because they give you a deadline, because you get to tell the judges that you're a writer. Okay, and what's the worst thing that will happen to you? The worst thing that will happen to you is that you have a finished output. So actually that's really what makes me join these contests. I'm looking for readership, so to speak. What keeps me writing, however, are, I think, 2 things. One is, I think as a humanist, I make it a point to keep my sense of wonder alive. I mean, I like observing people. I'm an introvert, but I like observing people. Okay? I like to see how they behave. I like seeing how my students behave, and so on and so forth. And yeah, sometimes I really get my stories from there, from my friends, from my own experiences sometimes, from my colleagues, my students, from news bits, sometimes from what I watch. So I mean, I think for a writer, there's no way to deplete your source of inspiration so long as you keep yourself interested with human beings and the world. And I think that's one thing that I do need to emphasize. The other thing that I should emphasize also is, and this is a more selfish reason on my end, is that sometimes what happens is you want to see a story, you want to read a story that does not exist, so you have to make it exist.
AccessAnonymous.com is a play about the pain one goes through and how he moves on until he finally reaches the art of letting go. This play was written by Dr. Joem, a Palangka winner, and the same writer who gave us Gabriel, The Domestic Problems of the Good King George, which we presented at the Cultural Center of the Philippines for the Pasinaya Arts Festival in 2019, and we also did this for Comedia Delariarte in 2020. This play was highlighted by our pioneer and senior artists like Nikko, Chua, Julianne Amador, Attorney Earl Camara, Kristine Chan, Louise Grace Robles, and Christian Louis Martin.
Hi, I play the broken-hearted boy in the piece July Red Concrete. This is a play about heartbreak, and I hope you guys can relate. So tune in, of course, like and subscribe.
So my part in the play is the monologue of the word twister. I believe my character is a college student, which is actually hiding behind all the complaints, all the anger, all the irritation. This girl just wants the deal to be sealed by the guy, because the guy is going off to other people about how they were in a relationship but never really established it with me, the girl.
Hello, I'm going to play a professional who's career-oriented, like me, but kind of ignorant with everything else. He has a goal, probably. Just watch till the end.
Hi, I play the role of the HR manager, and I was put in a situation wherein I have to interview the ex na pinaasa ako. So stay tuned and watch more.
Hi! I play the character from the monologue Scribbles in Red. It is basically a story of the differences or the contradiction between a songwriter slash a musician and his ex-boyfriend, the writer, or a writer. And moreover, my character also questions her position in the life of his ex as a writer and as a boyfriend.
Hi guys! So without spoiling much about the story of my character, I'm gonna say that my breakup or the character's breakup happens a lot differently than everyone else. And the character is basically this broken, sad boy kind of character who hides his sadness in humor and sarcasm, which I relate to a lot.
And this play was also brought to us by Hotel Del Rio. And we would like to thank Sir Allan and Miss Mona Lisa Imbang.
Writer, which is my ex. Okay, my ano ma? Ex of my character. Or the story, ay, ano man?
Hi, I play the heartbroken boy from the piece lipatan ko of July Red Concrete.
Nagalangan lang.